You are listening to the Novel Writing Podcast, episode 49. Grab a cup, cozy up, and let's get to writing. Today's episode is the 45th of 60 daily episodes that pair with the videos of Haley's 60-day novel writing challenge. You can watch the first 5 days of the challenge for free on Haley's YouTube channel, and the link to that is in the description. Day 45 of the challenge is about staying motivated to write. Motivation is like a hummingbird. It flits around wherever and whenever it wants, and it can leave just as fast as it arrived. It's unpredictable, but when it hits, it can light a fire under your writing butt like no other. The problem is when it leaves and doesn't return for a long time. Writers who have a built-in routine of writing or a ritual that gets them into the right state of mind for writing don't need to rely on motivation. Good news, everyone! You can set yourself up to create your own form of motivation that's far more powerful and reliable than the hummingbird kind. Here's 7 ways how to do that. 1. Routines. Productivity experts talk about routines to death because they work. Having a regular day or time to sit down and write trains your brain to be in the mood for writing at that day and time. Routines don't have to be the things that you do every single day at the exact same time, since our lives are not usually that predictable. But having something that you can come back to again and again makes it easier in the long run to drum up motivation to write when it just doesn't seem like it's there. 2. Narrow your focus. Don't look at the writing task in front of you as this huge, I need to write an entire chapter today or I'm a failure. Break it down. Overwhelm comes from thinking about things as too big for you to do in one sitting, and that's often true with writing. You can't write an entire novel in one sitting. The thing about overwhelm is when we see how much we have to do, we don't end up doing any of it. And that can feel like a lack of motivation when it's really just the consequence of overwhelm. Whittle whatever you're overwhelmed about down to the next simplest action that you can take. If that's writing the next sentence, write the next sentence. 3. Use music. Instrumental playlists are all over the place on YouTube if you're someone who needs music to write or get into the writing mood. For me, the music cannot have words, otherwise I get super distracted. When I wrote this episode, I was listening to a playlist by Abby Emmons on YouTube, and we'll link to her in the description. And she has a ton of excellent writing sprint videos with built-in breaks like a Pomodoro timer. 4. Use Pomodoros or writing sprints or dedicated short bursts of time to get into the writing space and over the hump of friction that's sitting there masquerading as a lack of motivation. The first 1 to 5 minutes of your writing session are probably the hardest because it's hard to get started. An object in motion stays in motion, while an object at rest stays at rest. Use whatever you can to get over that staying at rest part to get into the groove. 5. Set your writing space up for success. Clean off the desk, turn down the lights, tell your partner, your kids, your roommates, and your pets that you are unavailable for the next hour. That doesn't mean they won't interrupt, just that you have already set the expectation that your writing time is important to you. But no guarantees on the pets. They probably don't speak English and will probably pretend that they don't understand it either. 6. Look forward to the next writing session on purpose. One of our writers in the 60-day challenge group ends the virtual write-ins by coming up with the title of the next chapter she's going to work on, so that she's looking forward to it. A couple examples of the titles she's shared with us include Florida Man and Spicy Burritos. Now, I'm not even writing her book, and I'd look forward to a writing session if I knew that's the chapter that awaited me. And 7. Don't use past failure as an excuse for future failure. Just because you spent the last 2 weeks or 2 months not writing anything doesn't mean you can't sit down tonight or tomorrow or next week and write. If you used your past as the measuring stick for how far you could go in life, you would never get past where you are now. Challenge yourself. What if you could break your record for highest word count in a single day? Mine is somewhere around 5,500 words, and one of my clients blew me out of the water with 11,000 words in a single day. I hope these 7 tips were helpful for showing you that motivation does not have to be something that you wait for. You can create it on your own, and when you master that skill, you can call it up on demand. That's it for this companion episode to Writing Motivation. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 46. Thanks for listening to the Novel Writing Podcast. If you're ready to stop struggling and start finishing your novel, check out the 60-Day Novel Writing Challenge. It's a step-by-step program designed for solo writers to complete their first draft with clarity and focus. Visit the link in the description to learn more.